Yo, what's going on? It's your boy BigDonSkillz bringing you another video today, and we're gonna be talking about Melee being canceled by a Nintendo cease and desist letter. So crazy stuff's happened over the past, I'd say 12 to 24 hours, man. So if you don't know, I like to play a lot of Smash Brothers on my streams, in my YouTube, whatever the case is. I play a lot of Smash, and I like to keep up with the competitive scene too. And since quarantine, there's been quite a few issues with Smash, from the recent drama and allegations resulting from lots of very bad people to the fact that the online for Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is essentially Nintendo's like best-selling game right now, is so bad that people that are competitively playing the game online have just fallen off from it, even some of the top level players. So what I'm gonna be talking about today is a cease and desist letter that was sent to the Big House. So if you don't know, the Big House is a major tournament that happens for Smash Brothers in general. So you have Melee, I believe Ultimate too. Yeah, Melee, Ultimate, and I can backpedal a little bit by saying, for people who don't know, Smash Brothers Melee is a very old game, and it came out on the GameCube, which was, let's see, since the GameCube, we've had the Wii, we've had the Wii U, and now we have the Switch. And then you can even include like the 3DS and the DS. So the Melee is a very old game, but it's held up so well competitively to where thousands of people are still playing it daily as if it's a brand new game. New tech still being found out. Things are being shaken up in the tier list as the game evolves. So back in the GameCube days, this wasn't a game that was played online at all. No one played Melee online because it didn't exist. It wasn't a thing. And so there was a form of playing online called netplay, where people were able to matchmake and play online. But recently there was a development of a program called Slippy. So Slippy is a better form of netplay that it may even have a ranking system, but essentially it's gave Melee even newer life since the pandemic, because it has very good netcode, which is what we're going to get into in a second. It has very good netcode. It's just a very good experience for people who are playing a game that wasn't even available or didn't even have online to begin with. So then you have Smash Ultimate, which is their latest entry. Smash Ultimate has terrible online. People have been complaining about it. It's, once again, Nintendo's essentially best-selling game right now, and the support for it has been so bad that many pros have been very vocal about this. So the reason why I'm bringing all this up is to kind of get perspective. Slippy has been a lifesaver, especially for the Melee community, because people who were playing Ultimate are so tired with the online, they're actually going over to Melee now with Slippy. So it's just a lot of craziness going on as far as that. So now we're going to jump into the cease and desist letter from the Big House. So now let me jump into it after talking for 3 minutes. The Big House is heartbroken to share we received a cease and desist from Nintendo of America Inc. to cancel our upcoming online event. We were informed we do not have permission to host or broadcast the event, primarily due to the usage of Slippy, which is the program I mentioned earlier. Sadly, all of our competitions are affected. We are forced to comply with the order and cancel the Big House online for both Melee and Ultimate. Refund information will be sent shortly. We apologize to all of those impacted. So the fact this event's been canceled, of course, people are going to be very upset about this. Let's just be honest. You have a huge, what people call a major. So you have a major that has been canceled straight up by Nintendo. And the thing is, Nintendo has shown over the past X amount of years that they don't really F with the competitive scene, especially for Melee, because it's an old game. They're not making money off of it anymore. And in order for people to play online and utilize Slippy, most people are going to be playing it through an emulator and a ROM, which there's been a whole lot of debate, but there's a lot of flack of people thinking that ROMs and emulators are illegal. And so Nintendo has that right to step in And if you don't know, with the Nintendo, for the Switch, when Nintendo did the online services for Super Nintendo and NES, they came through after all the ROM and emulator websites and were like, yo, take all of our stuff off right now or we're going to sue you. So that's what Nintendo does. They come through and they know, like, hey, we're Nintendo. We can get away with what we do because we're family friendly. You know, we can say what we want. We can close out these emulators and ROMs. And what did they end up doing? After they closed that, they opened up the Nintendo online service. And since then, it's been pretty garbage because they only release a new game. They release 2 games for like the Super Nintendo every like 3 or 4 months. It's like you forget about the thing exists and they'll just be like, oh yeah, here's oh yeah, we got Legend of Zelda, and then we got these 2 random Japanese games that no one, even people from Japan, never played, and they're like kind of garbage games. So Nintendo does this. There was a Mario Battle Royale that came out last year, I believe. Last year. A Mario Battle Royale came out. Some dude, I don't know if it was one person or a team, but he literally made an in-browser Mario Battle Royale with the original Mario game. Nintendo took that down. And after Nintendo took that down, now you fast forward to about 2 months ago now, they released the Mario Battle Royale. So if you can see the trend, Nintendo doesn't really like when people modify or make different versions of their own games. They're gonna just come after people. And I think they recently even went after a entertainer. I don't know who she was. I think she's an adult entertainer, adult actress, whatever you want to say, / YouTuber. Probably has OnlyFans, not suitable for work content type stuff. And they pulled a cease and desist on her because of them using, I guess some of her merchandise had Nintendo on it. So yeah, they came after her too. So this is already showing a trend that Nintendo doesn't F around. And I understand why people are very upset. But at the same time, it's like, you know who you're effing with. And you know that they're going to come down with the hammer every time. They've made it difficult for Melee in the past to have tournaments. They've done so many things against the competitive scene. And I think with all the recent Smash drama too, they're even more on their tippy toes looking for stuff to, you know, fish out and sniff out and whatnot. So I think that's a big thing too. Nintendo was just like, dude, doesn't matter what y'all do, we can find the littlest excuse to put your game in the gulag, you know, to put your competition, your stuff in the gulag. And what can you do about this? Slippy is a mod, and a lot of people playing the game are playing through ROMs, through Dolphin emulator, which is the most known GameCube emulator. And so whether or not you want to say it's legal / illegal, I'm not here to talk about that. But from Nintendo's perspective, they're definitely in their rights to come through and be like, yo, nah, we ain't letting you do this. I think it's silly. I think it's absolutely stupid. And instead of using their resources to fix their current best-selling game that more people are playing, they just neglect it. It's just pure neglection of their product. So a lot of people, I think, overlook Nintendo because they seem to be so nice. They seem to be so like family friendly, consumer friendly, whatever you want to call it. But in actuality, they're what people call anti-consumer, man. They do everything against the customer. They have tons of games that come out they don't fix. You have so many things you could talk about. Pokemon Sword and Shield. You got these Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicle remakes that were bad. You have all these games that are coming out and they're like half-assed. They're not really, there's not effort put into them. But because it's Nintendo and because it's all nostalgia, people are gonna just like it anyways. A good example, you got the newest Mario, the Mario 3D collection. They just released a patch the other day that allowed GameCube controller support for Super Mario Sunshine, which was a GameCube game originally. Which, by the way, the reason why Nintendo still sells GameCube controllers is because of the popularity from Smash Brothers. So you think about how this all ties in together. Why do you think Nintendo has decided to stick with GameCube controllers since the GameCube? Knowing damn well that controller, I'll be honest with you, I think GameCube was one of the worst controllers. But because people will use it for competitive Smash and they've never wanted to like like the build quality is great on the controller. So since the build quality is so good, and with a game like Melee, that's literally the only controller you can use. Ever since competitive Melee, people just stick with the GameCube controller. And so there's been better design controllers, but there hasn't been better build quality controllers since the GameCube. So think about that. Even with Smash 4, they released the GameCube controller. So they know the impact that Melee has on their community, but they just refuse to acknowledge it. I don't know why they hate it so much. But dude, I just find that crazy to me. Like they just literally hate it that much, you know. But yeah, I think that's all I really had to say. You know, you have to definitely think about this from both sides. People are in their feelings right now, but you got to be realistic about this stuff, man. You're stepping on eggshells with Nintendo, man, especially with competitive stuff, because they try and make their games like casual and competitive, but then they don't support their competitive communities. If you look at games like ARMS and Splatoon, it's like they don't have like real competitive scenes because Nintendo has these sponsored events. And then even with Smash Brothers, when they have competitive sponsored events, they don't have, it's completely opposite of the real competitive scene. So they're pretty much the masters of throwing shade, really. That's all they're really doing. They're acknowledging that like Melee is a huge impact on the community, but then they're just throwing shade and completely ignoring the fact that it even exists in the first place. So, but yeah, that's all I got to say, man. This video is 11 minutes long. I'm not going to talk too long. I've been trying to keep my videos short. And once again, man, my internet has been out for the past few days, and they are coming again today because they couldn't fix it last night. These guys are scrubs, dude. So I'm grinding. I'm gonna go downstairs and upload this on my public Wi-Fi for the apartments. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all get my perspective too. Have an open discussion about this, man. What do y'all think about this whole entire thing with competitive Melee and the competitive scene, all this stuff? What do y'all think about it? Let your boy Don know. And hey, let's definitely talk about this. But I appreciate y'all for being here today. Y'all are the realists. I will definitely see y'all soon. Have a good rest of y'all night. And deuces.